What happened? What all of a sudden that 16-0 run? What do you think sort of changed there for your guys?
Well, the momentum really, I think, started to change more in the second quarter. We played a pretty solid second quarter. And who knows what the first quarter would have looked like if we didn't have the 8 turnovers. That was probably what got us disjointed and down double digits, more than anything, is we couldn't get shots on goal. Nobody was in rhythm. They were able to run out on a couple of those. Once we started to take care of the basketball, we started to play a little bit more to our identity, able to get stops, and then much more intentional with our offense from the second quarter on. And a lot of guys were in rhythm at that point.
A lot of times we have people in the media asking questions about who's going to start, who's going to play, and yet it seems to really dovetail together so well. Duncan starts, has the threes early, gets on a little bit of a roll, and then Max, I guess your word is ignitable, 8 straight points to open the third. Is it nice to see that no matter the roles, there seems to be, even Gabe tonight, just something for everyone in this rotation?
We view it as a great strength of ours that we have this depth, and we have guys that really want to contribute and compete for something big. And so, right now we've just been dealing with so many moving parts that different guys have to step up in different roles at different times. And the guys have been very mentally and emotionally stable about keeping the big picture in mind, but focusing on the present moment, what it takes to get this game and handle the task at that time. And then it could be a little bit different, based on the next game or the opponent or guys coming back from injury. We've just been living in a world and a profession right now where there's just been a lot of inordinate moving parts, and our guys have handled it really well. I really commend them, for being able to not get caught up in all the different excuses that could happen, but just focus on contributing and playing good basketball.
Real quick about 2 guys that came back. First, Dwayne Dedman, your thoughts on his play?
Very good. I probably played him a few more minutes in the first half than I planned, but you just see, what he brings, that interior toughness and size. He protects the rim extremely well. He's one of our better screen and roll guys to the rim. He just had such great enthusiasm and passion to be back out. He'd been out 15 games, and he was so excited just to be back with the group and practicing, and then be able to get back in the mix. Those are the moments that you enjoy in this profession.
What he gave you, and just your thoughts on him being back in the mix.
Really solid basketball. He's setting the table for us, able to get us into offense, get the ball where it needed to go, and then was able to score in the fourth quarter. I really wanted to take a look at that group just to see if they could extend the lead. When we had to call the timeout, we're up 11 or 13. Of course, I was thinking about possibly putting back the starters, but I also wanted to use this as a growing moment, for confidence, to see if the guys could respond, and they really did. And Gabe was a big part of that. Settled us, and again, we were able to execute offense similar the way we would with Kyle in there, and that just shows you how much Gabe has grown in that role.
Obviously, Tyler's scoring was big in that first half, but his playmaking, how much did that kind of get the offense going there, especially in the first half?
He's really cataloging plays and schemes and different ways to manipulate the defense, and he's really improving in that area. And sometimes, his gift is scoring, but he also is a student and understands what we need offensively. So he's really taken it to heart to study and drill on it, watch film, and continue to try to make the right play, whatever the best play is for the team. And you can see his vision and his skill level that he's able to have those double-digit assist games. Because of his playmaking, his ability to find guys and continue to improve his fundamentals and deliver the ball on time, on target.
Guarded some of the NBA's top scorers during his entire trip, but what did you like about what he gave you tonight against Trey?
Caleb is just getting more disciplined, more schooled, and more stable. When you have to guard great players, you have to be willing to be disciplined and consistent to the game plan and handle it when great players score, and not start to panic and make things up and break down mentally and start to make mistakes. He's really been improving, in our system as a disciplined defender. And it's not just him. Obviously there are a lot of other guys that really contributed to that, but I love, how much he puts into this, how competitive he is, how much pride he has on that end of the court. He always says that he was just a scorer in college, but he was coached well. A lot of things were demanded of him. You can tell he had a lot of good habits even before he got us to us, and then now he's just really working to become more refined, more disciplined, as one of those Swiss Army knife defenders.
Hey, Max, we'll take some via Zoom.
All right, we'll start with Mike DePasquale, Channel 7. Go ahead.
Thank you. Eric, I want to follow up on something you just touched on. 3 straight wins, 8 of your last 10. In the midst of the injuries and the COVID protocols, how do you and your staff get these guys to buy in where they don't even know how they're going to be used on any given night?
Well, a lot of it, to be fair, on this past road trip is whoever was available was playing and playing big minutes. So it wasn't really much of a buy-in. It was more about, not feeling sorry for ourselves or making excuses and, just conceding things before they actually happen. But we have a very competitive group. These guys love competition and they prepare extremely well. We have a very hardworking group. So even when there's off days, we have to limit the time guys are in the gym. And they're constantly with the coaches watching film and just trying to get better and contribute. But our veterans really help in terms of really infusing so much confidence in the young players. Yes, we have a player development program, but you have to have the right veteran players that really allow that to happen and enjoy it and enjoy, seeing young players play well and contribute to a win.
If I can follow up, do you enjoy watching a hunger in some of these guys, like some of the guys you signed to 10-day contracts, or a guy like Yurtsevin who wasn't playing earlier in the season?
No, we enjoy all of it. All the different aspects of an NBA season. This has been trying times for everybody associated with this, just in terms of dealing with everything and the protocols, the testing, the unknown. Of course, it makes anybody feel a little bit anxious. That's to be expected, and that's okay. That's the human side of it. But we're here to try to compete and get better, and we have big aspirations for this team, and you just keep on plugging away. But again, the veterans are really driving this. I don't know if anybody enjoys more of it than our veterans when our young guys play well, because they see them prepare, they respect it, they see how much they've improved, and then when you have the confidence from veteran players and you're a young player, that's probably the most important thing to move the needle than anything. You feel like you can move mountains and accomplish anything when veteran players are supporting you. And we have
Thank
that
you, Spo.
in our locker room.
Thank you.
Right up next, we have Wes Goldberg. Go ahead.
Going back to Tyler's passing there, I guess somewhat related, but when you notice that he's also starting to get the ball to guys who are playing well, like Omer in the fourth quarter and things like that, is that just a matter of him kind of doing what you were talking about, sort of noticing what the defense is doing, or is he starting to kind of have the game slow down and getting guys involved and being a little bit, I guess unselfish in those ways, noticing when guys
Well,
are
for sure, the game is slowing down for him. And he's, look, he doesn't, you can't have better professionals to study under than Kyle and Jimmy in terms of learning how to manipulate the game and let the game come to you. We need Tyler to be aggressive and assertive. When you're a young player, you want to do everything, every single possession, every single time. And you start to realize like you're going to have a lot of opportunities. It's a long game and it's about making the right play every time. And then you start to learn how to manipulate defenses and understand what the coverages are and where the weaknesses are. And he's just starting to toe his foot in the water on that. But again, he has great examples of that, and he wants to be like those guys, and he's continuing to make improvements as a playmaker, which is tough. It's very challenging in this league when everybody on the outside only notices that final line on the box score, how many points you score, and then when you have a program that's trying to get you to make all the right plays, that sometimes can be conflicting messages. But Tyler is a winner, is a winning player, and he's continuing to get better with that.
And then just a quick follow-up, just in terms of the accuracy of the passes themselves, have you noticed a improvement in just that aspect of it?
Yeah, overall, I wasn't happy with our passing in the first quarter when we had 8 turnovers. So that's a big thing for us offensively. Probably the biggest thing that can move the needle for us is getting our turnovers down just by a couple a game, being a little bit more fundamental, making the easier play at times. That would probably help our scoring more than anything. But Tyler really works at it. He studies it, and he's getting better with that.
Thank you.
Right up next, Cooper Moorhead, Heat.com. Go ahead.
Not a chance, Coop.
Spo, the last few years, Bam's always been one of your best weapons against elite point guards, just his ability to switch and to blitz and everything. But without him in the past week, you've induced in some way bad games out of Steph, CP3, and now Trey. And without doing a lot of blitzing, I'm just wondering what's working well on a team defense level that these point guards are having some trouble against your defense.
I don't really know. I definitely wouldn't say that about Curry. It felt like he missed a bunch of open shots, and that happens sometimes with great players. You just try to make it tough to get them out of their comfort zone. We are in a different schematic coverage, than we were at the beginning of the year. At the end of the day, I think it'll help us. We've added some more dimensions and diversity, to what we can do because we've had to. Bam was kind of a safeguard, Swiss Army knife center that there's probably only 2 in the league that can do what he can do. And it's forced us to have to evolve and do some different things. And we've had to really work at it, because it was our worst coverage 6 weeks ago. I still don't know where we stand on that. I don't even know if it's good right now, but at least we're getting better. I'm seeing progress with it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Coach, we're good here. Thank you.
Thank you.